Welcome into Rick Renner, Texas High School Hysteria, powered by Ford. Ford is the best in Texas. Subscribe now and follow on YouTube, Twitter, Apple and Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Odyssey, or any of your favorite streaming platforms. And never miss an episode. Joining me now, the dynasty of all volleyball dynasties. That's right, I'm talking about the Lady Leopards of Lovejoy, who just won their 10th state championship, led by their amazing head coach, Natalie Puckett, and arguably the best freshman in the planet. That's right, the one and only Gentry Barker. Well, congratulations, ladies. It seems like every day you're walking around on red carpets and celebrating things. Natalie, how big is that ring going to be? Because I know the last ring you had was as big as an ice cream wedding cake. It was incredible.
We are in the process of making that. So the girls, seniors had some ideas for the design, and I'm excited to see what we come up with.
Coach, what's it been like walking around? You know, it's all about state championships for you. What's it like walking around that campus as a state champion?
It feels good. Each year is different from the previous year, regardless of what you're coming off after. But this one is special. Getting lots of different classes involved. A freshman sitting next to me, and I feel like the team really bonded well at the right time and played well at the right time. And yeah, walking around the halls, getting to celebrate. And I mean, we're in January, February, and we're still getting to celebrate. As we look forward to 2024, we're trying to do it again, but it was awesome to be able to pause and reflect and get to celebrate number 10.
What's it been like from your perspective, Gentry? Because, being a freshman, a state championship MVP, I can't even imagine what it's like walking around in your shoes.
Yeah, it's definitely like really cool just walking around especially whenever I come in the locker room and I see all the trophies. Like, it's just cool, like knowing that we got there and like won. And it just still doesn't really feel real that we even won, but it's like, it's cool walking around and just like being like, yeah, like I can't wait for next season.
And Natalie, I think about you, you're kind of running out of fingers for all the rings you have right now. I mean, you won 3 as a player, 1 as an assistant, now 2 as a head coach. Where does this one rank for you? Because I know they're all special, but I know all that tremendous pressure there is there to win it all. What does this one mean to you, and how does it separate from the others?
This one's really special. Obviously going out and winning one as an athlete Gentry can tell you it's pretty awesome just to be able to be on that court and have your whole community behind you and your teammates next to you. And that's special. And then getting to win as an assistant, you feel like you just poured everything into the specific team. And then rolling in to 2021 right after Ryan Mitchell leaves and I get the head job was incredible, getting that really strong senior class, their state championship. But this one, just, I don't know, there's a little more ownership of this one. We had a bitter taste in our mouth last year after losing in the region semis. Rolling into this year, we definitely took that and added some fresh blood and added some new people to our mix. And it's indescribable, kind of like Gentry said. It's each year is different, and it's awesome in its own way.
Yeah, Gentry, and I think about you. What an unbelievable story you are. I mean, your family moves up from the greater Austin area. You come up there, you're trying out. You're probably wondering, well, it's pretty rare for a freshman to even make the varsity team. You do that. And not only do you do that, you go on to lead the team in many categories and then also become the state championship MVP. Take me back to that process when you were actually trying out and you were wondering if you were even going to make the varsity team. Was that ever in your wildest dreams at that point?
Yeah, it was definitely, I didn't think I was going to make varsity because like the team's like really good. And I know that a lot of freshmen are on varsity, but I got invited to like practice with the varsity team. And it was just like a lot of like, it was really cool being able to practice with all of them because they're all like so good and being able to like take off of what they have from their older experience. So it was just like, it was really fun. And then whenever I found out, I was like so excited.
Take me back to that moment, Natalie. I know it was a special moment. You get in front of the team, you tell them, hey, Gentry's made the team as varsity. What was it that she did that kind of separated her to give her that rare situation where you see a freshman start on varsity, especially at a school of your magnitude?
I mean, her ball control is definitely eye-catching, which is, I mean, is next level, but let alone for a freshman. No, it's just a really cool experience. We kind of talked in this last spring, I guess, and we kind of came up with some options of different things. You know, maybe you start on JV and get pulled up for playoffs, or if you're on varsity, I need you playing. Right, whatever it is, I want you on the court. And Gentry kind of took that and ran with it. And she'll let you know that was definitely a goal of hers, setting her goals high, and she went out and earned it. Like she said, we had an open gym for varsity only, and she was invited to that, and she made it evident. Everybody in the gym knew that that's where she belonged. So it was very calm discussion. You know, after practice, we talked, and I just said, you know, Gentry, welcome to varsity, and the girls were excited. I think they went to brunch or something after, but it was cool. And then from that point on, she was a part of the crew.
How did you make it so seamless, Gentry?
I just like.
Wait, what is she's not good at bragging on herself, so I'll do that. She doesn't skip a beat. Her level of play is just, I mean, intertwined great with everybody. How'd you make it look so easy?
I guess the team was really easy to like come into. Like they're a really supportive team, and just everyone on our team wanted the best for each other. And so I guess just like coming into a team, like even though there was a lot of pressure, knowing that they all supported me, like it just made it a lot easier to like be on varsity, just having a team that supports you.
It's really amazing what you pulled off. I mean, we never see anybody do this, you know, at any school. And this is at a perennial powerhouse in volleyball. You know, not only do you make varsity, but you go on to lead the team in kills, 424 for the year. In the state title game, you had 17 kills, 11 digs in that state championship game on the way to the MVP. You know, your family, you know, makes that move up there. What is it about that whole Lovejoy community that your family has really embraced?
We just saw that they were so like welcoming, and it was just a really competitive like community, and my family and like me, like we love to compete, so we just like we wanted to pick the best option, even though we knew it would be hard to like earn spots and stuff. We saw that it was such like an opening, like welcoming, loving community, and we just wanted to be a part of it.
I thought you had a great line, Gentry, after the state championship game. You talked about how, you know, being at Lovejoy, it's good pressure, not bad pressure. What did you mean by that? And how did it motivate you to be such a star?
It was like a strong pressure being a freshman, like put on the court, because I know that all these girls have like been here in my shoes before, and I'm the only one that hasn't. And so it was just like difficult, but it was good pressure because I knew that they were all like counting on me, and they wanted me to like succeed to help the team. And so it wasn't bad at all. It was like good, like wanting to be better and wanting to be the best for the team.
Yeah, Natalie, and I think about your situation, you know, it's not often you see people that are players that become great coaches. I've talked to Jason Witten about that too, and he says there's so many people that fail trying to pull that off. And yet you've been so successful every step of the way. How have you been able to pull that off?
I always point back to, I mean, these girls choose to buy in every single day. They choose to buy into each other. Like she said, they're very supportive of each other. And then in turn, they're able to be supportive of me. It's nice to be able to come in and say, you know, I have physically been in your shoes. I have done this before. It has changed, and I'll be the first one to say that. You know, pressure has changed. The level of play has changed. The division has changed. You know, when I was in high school, we were 3A, so things have changed, and it's higher pressure. But just kind of having that extra buy-in factor of I'm here for you, I care for you, let's do this together.
And I know you've talked so much about Ryan Mitchell, who was your coach when you played and went on to Prestonwood, and you took over for him. You learned so much from him. What were the biggest lessons that you took?
It's not all about court time. I feel like he did a really good job of building, you know, the athlete as a whole, you know, the leadership aspect, the weight room aspect, being a good student. And high school, you know, we have to deal with grades and hallway attitude and all, you know, the whole athlete as a whole. And it's not all about volleyball. Oftentimes the most competitive or most what's the word I'm looking for, volleyball well-developed team isn't the state championship team. It's the team that chooses to buy in with each other and plays good volleyball along the way. But it's these girls who make this job incredible.
Yeah, we hear so much about how the DFW dominates in football with all the major championships, but volleyball, it's actually a higher percentage. 60% of the state championships go to the DFW North Texas area. Gentry, what do you think it is about North Texas and the DFW area that separates from the rest of the state?
I think everyone down here is very competitive, and everyone down here, like, also it goes along with football. Like, everyone I know, like, my brother plays football and he's a really competitive person. I think everyone down here just wants to be their best, and a lot of people that I know have moved to Dallas for sports because they know that it's like such a competitive, good, like, training area. I think everyone who's down here just wants to be the best they can, and they just want to compete with everyone else, but in a good way.
Gentry, you talked about your sibling. Your brother played football. I know your sister, you wanted to be like her. Have you passed her in ability yet?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Still chasing that a little bit. Okay. We're cool with that. Natalie, as you look at the DFW, why do you think it separates from the rest of the state to be able to win 60% of the state championship games?
I think our club world has a lot to do with that, with volleyball particularly. The North Texas club level is out of we're constantly, top 5 at least in each division, and the club coaches do a really good job of attracting solid athletes, and then the high schools are able to follow suit. And like Gentry said, competition is contagious, and like you said, 60%. Then that percent only raises from here, in my opinion. I want to go be like fill in the blank, and right now it's Lovejoy Volleyball, so it kind of attracts each other, and it's a great place to live too. I'm biased, but DFW area is you can't find a bad pocket. It's a great place, great people, and you can compete along the way too.
And everybody thinks about the volleyball universe. It starts at Lovejoy and then just kind of branches out a little bit in the DFW. You talked about the club sports, and I think about you, Gentry. You've been playing club volleyball since you were 7 years old, and this past summer you went on to win a national championship. Talk about that experience and what that did for your game going forward this year.
Playing since I was like 7, really, like, every single week, it's just been club volleyball for me my whole life. And so just like all the work I've put into it, how many hours I've trained and practiced, like, it finally paying off at nationals, me moving up here to be on like a team and stuff. It was just really rewarding, like, knowing that I finally got like what I've been working for my whole life. Like, but I love volleyball so much. So it taught me a lot playing at such a higher level of how to like up my game, because I learned from other people. So it was just really rewarding and like such a fun experience to win.
Yeah, and I think you won gold there in Chicago as well. You're like a traveling salesman going to all these giant tournaments and stuff like that. How instrumental have your parents been in getting you to all these games and getting you to all these practices so you can be the best that you can be?
My parents are very, very, very into my volleyball. Like, they're really supportive about it. And like ever since my sister played, they like were totally in the club, and they knew like from a young age they were gonna make me a volleyball player. And like I just happen to love volleyball too. And they drove me to every practice. They put me in the best clubs possible. They wanted the best for me, and they were so. I think my dad cried more than I did whenever I won.
He's like, all those trips, to El Paso, it paid off. It paid off. No doubt about that. Well, Natalie, I look at the collection of athletes that you've had on this team that won the 10th title in school history. Amazing girls: Bethanie, McKenna, Shelby, Skylar, who's a really good close personal friend of Gentry's. The list goes on. And your girls are not only good volleyball players, but they're incredibly smart in the classroom as well. You got a couple of Ivy League kids as well. When you look back at this team, what are you going to remember the most?
They're a fun group. Their personalities, I'll remember. There was never a dull moment. I think I started this year with, personality and conversation isn't going to be an issue. It's going to be channeling that in the right direction, right? Staying focused. They're a fun group. I feel like I can talk to all of them about anything. And our assistant coaches, I could say the same thing too. We're just a really tight knit group. And like I said, a lot of different classes were represented. And I think that allowed a little bit more bonding, which sometimes that does the opposite. So the seniors bought into the younger classmen, and it was a fun year. And starting off the year in Hawaii wasn't too bad either. And that'll definitely be a memory that I know I'll have for forever.
Yeah, I want that road trip. I think I need to cover you the next time you guys do that.
Absolutely.
Gentry, how about you from your perspective? I know you've enjoyed going to battle with these girls. How about the fact that they took you in right away and, you won them over? What have they meant to you in this whole process?
I've met some of my best friends on this team. Like before this, I was really scared coming into the team because I knew they were all older and I didn't know if they'd be like okay with me being on the team because I'm just like new and a freshman. But they were all so welcoming and I just love my team so much. Like some of my best friends, even like one of my closest friends on the team was a senior, and like it was just they didn't care how young I was. They just they just let me in, and I have such a good team. Like they were so nice.
Gentry, it's so fun watching the videos of you. I know you stand at 5'10", 6'3" with hair, but you play like you're 7 feet tall the way you get up in the air. Talk about the spike and how much you work at that, because it is an absolute spectacle when you get up in the air.
I just swing as fast as I can and hopefully it goes in, but I just go out there. I just try, I don't know, whenever I'm not there, I just try to place the ball the best I can. But yeah, whenever I swing, I just try and have ball control on where it goes.
Well, Coach, what do you think when your girls are attacking the net? I know it's all coaching, getting them in the right positions at the right time to be in position to make those great plays. And they're so well coached, but how much do you enjoy watching it kind of all come together?
Oh, I mean, when the ball comes off of their hands and it's a solid contact, that's the best sound you can ever hear. That just this clean pop. Yeah, it's fun getting to play the X's and O's. And like she said, placing the ball where we want to place it. Sometimes, we talk about a lot. A point is a point, whether that's a tip, a throw, a roll, or a big hammer at the net. A point is a point. So people like Gentry and some of our other pens and middles are able to outsmart the other side, but it is pretty fun getting that big kill too.
Yeah, Natalie, and I always enjoy the celebrations after those big kills because that is kind of a choreography going on right there in itself. I don't even know how they remember all that stuff, but nobody celebrates like Lovejoy, do they, Coach?
We had some conversations about celebrating, yes. We went through some spurts of maybe some over celebrations. I think at the state tournament, somebody chest bumped and a tooth got somebody's chin, and some blood, like it drew blood, which had to be cleaned up and it was fine. But hey, we got the point, so that's good.
Gentry, how do you get up the energy after playing those points to celebrate? Because there's a lot of energy that you need for that as well. It almost seems like it intimidates your competition too.
Yeah, I think it was just the adrenaline of wanting to win so bad. And whenever you have a team that keeps celebrating, you just don't get tired of celebrating. Because it's just every point they want to keep doing that. We want to keep celebrating every point. So whenever we get there, I think it was just the adrenaline was so high because we wanted to win so bad. I didn't even think about how tired I was until I got in the car later and I was like, oh my gosh.
That's great. Well, Natalie, I know that everything at that school, it feeds through the volleyball program and the energy of the football powerhouse that they are, in the tradition there. What is it about that tight-knit community that really just seems like winning really breeds more winning?
Well, we're actually sitting in our head cross country and track coach's office right now, and I got to give them a shout out too. Carly Littlefield does an awesome job with her crew, and Logan Kelly, they're both cross country champions this year too. It like you said, it does. It's contagious. Everybody, once you get that one taste, it tastes pretty good, and you always want to figure out how to get more. The coaches and the community are so supportive. We were talking about this at our head coaches meeting last week of. Everybody is genuinely helpful. If I need something, I have a question, or I want to figure out how Carly does something with her leadership. everybody is there and willing to help. And it's unlike any place that I've ever been.
So Natalie, I'm kind of wondering, what's the difference between Natalie Puckett, the player, and Natalie Puckett, the coach? Have you mellowed or have you gotten tougher?
Those are two different questions. No, I've definitely mellowed out and I've gotten tougher. Yes. As a player, you can lead by example and you can have different types of conversations with your teammates. Whereas a coach, you kind of, my job is to funnel leadership through the girls and have them have conversations with their peers, because I can stand up there and point fingers and explain what I want to happen, but that's just me, one person saying that. But when you get different types of classes of leaders buying in and spreading the word and all being on the same page, that's huge. And that's honestly been really, really cool to see develop.
So well said. And Gentry, I know she's sitting right next to you, but what has Coach meant to you personally?
She just like believed in me from the start to put me on this team, to even give me the opportunity to be on this team. And she's definitely pushed me really hard, but it's just made me the best I can be. And so I just appreciate her even giving me the chance to be on this team and like believing in me. And like, even whenever I wasn't having my best game, she like kept me in and she helped me like fix what I was doing wrong. And she's made me a lot better.
I think about Lovejoy. You've been to state 13 times in the last 16 years. Only 5 teams in state history have won 10 titles, and you are one of the biggest schools to do so. And your school has only been playing volleyball for 17 years, Natalie. It's incredible success in less than 2 decades. Have you been able to step aside and realize what an amazing dynasty this has been?
It's incredible. It's a bittersweet. We actually kind of talked about this in our running warm up today. I gave them a prompt of what's the best and the worst part about Lovejoy volleyball. And a lot of them mentioned the pressure, but they mentioned pressure for both of those. It is the best thing, but it can be the worst thing at the same time. And worst is dramatic, but there's a lot of pressure that comes with, wearing that practice jersey. Here's the expectation, but at the same time, the girls know the expectation. Every single time they step on the court, they know that they must give their best, or else somebody else, maybe their teammate will, or the opponent will. And it's been a really cool just development over the last, like you said, 17 years from the beginning. Just embodying the pressure and creating something that is kind of dynasty-like.
It really is so much fun to watch. And Gentry, I look at you having so much success at such a young age. You're a great interview. You're so much fun to watch out there. Looking ahead now, do you think about the Olympics? Do you think about, pro volleyball on the beach? What are your aspirations from here?
I don't really know. It's like I'm still playing club and beach because I went back to club. So I'm playing both. So it's wherever the future takes me. Like I'd love to play club in college. I'd love to play indoor in college, and I'd also love to play beach in college. Like I don't know which one yet. I don't know. I'm just excited for whatever comes.
Well, ladies, congratulations on winning the school's 10th state championship. Unbelievable, just an unbelievable accomplishment. Enjoy the success, and we'll continue following you. Thanks so much for doing this.
Thank you.
Thanks for checking out Rick Renner, Texas High School Hysteria. Make sure you subscribe and never miss an episode. You can catch us on YouTube, Apple and Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Audible, iHeartRadio, Pandora, and Odyssey, or any of your favorite streaming platforms. Tune in, and we will see you soon.